babes, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Maya. If you can see, I am completely barefaced, no brows, no lashes, no nothing, because we are going to be doing a split face today. Half makeup mistakes to avoid and half doing it right. I did want to do this video for those of you who might be making some very daily mistakes and very common mistakes. I have not always known how to do makeup. I mean, I ain't gonna toot my own horn right now because there are a lot of things that I still can learn, but we all have made these very common mistakes, and hopefully today I can help you guys go from making no mistakes and flip it around and make it good. Before we hop into this video, please make sure that you hit subscribe. I don't want you guys to miss out on any videos that I got coming your way. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell as well so that you are updated on your phone when the videos go up. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Let's get straight into this. I don't want this video to be too long, so your girl is gonna try. I ain't making no promises though. Yeah, first things first, we are starting from the very beginning, and that is brows. So for this brow, we are going, actually for both, we are gonna go into Precisely My Brow from Benefit, and this is in number 6. And I have recently done a brow tutorial with you guys, so we're not getting deep into how to do the brows, but I am going to show you guys kind of what to do versus what not to do. I just kind of follow my shape and then I kind of taper in this side. I've never been like an artistic brow person. I always just do it like this. Like I never follow like my brow hairs. Now I'm bringing it in a little too much, just a little bit too much, but that's not a problem. We're going to fix that. So I followed my shape and brought it over, and we have a perfect brow. I am gonna go ahead and take the other side of this and blend it out. It's kind of like an ombre. But for the other brow, we're gonna go ahead and still take Precisely My Brow. I feel like one thing that I used to do when I did my makeup, first of all, they were too thin. I'm not about to shave off my brows right now to go back to the mistake that I used to make. It's just not a happy story. But regardless, I'm gonna go ahead into the mistakes that I typically would make with my brows the way they are. I would make them way too dark, and I used to do that a little while ago, so we're gonna push down a little more with this brow pencil. So the problem with this is I didn't completely follow my shape and make it fluid like I did for this one. It's way too dark and it's boxed out here. I see so many people say, you know, that is a thing of the past, but no, it's not. I see so many people who box out their brows and it just looks so unnatural, sis. It looks so unnatural. And that's not what we want. So for the sake of this video, we gonna box them mugs out and we gonna leave them just like that. Instead of leaving it there, I do see a lot of girls who bring their brows out way too far too. So we're just gonna do that too. Tip for brows: don't make them too long, and don't make them too boxy, and don't make them too dark or too thin. So now we have a good brow and a not so good brow. So for concealer, recently I've been using my Stay Naked concealer from Urban Decay for my brows, and this matches my skin tone perfectly. So I'm gonna continue to use that on the good brow side. Typically I will do little dots right underneath. Take my paddle brush, this one is from Raine, and just sculpt out my brows. Instead of adding that product up top, I will take the excess that's left on the brush and use it to sculpt out. I won't add any extra product to it. On the other hand, we're gonna take a concealer that's a little bit too light, and the reason I'm doing this is because I have seen this happen a lot in the streets. Once upon a time, I might have done this too. I'm gonna take this, I'm kinda gonna use the same technique, but I'm also gonna put it at the top as well. Number one, we're using way too much product. I've seen girls actually do this. Lord help us. And we're gonna sculpt these brows out with this concealer. And though they are able to fleek out the brow, this shade is just way too light for me, and I feel like it's definitely unnecessary to go this light. But you know, to each their own. But for the sake of the video and the fun, we're gonna do it. So y'all know y'all have seen this. Don't act like you ain't seen it. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my beauty blender to blend that down. You know, it is a bad side, but we're still gonna blend it into the skin so that it looks like we tried to do something right. I like this, it's kind of fun, y'all. I kind of like doing this. But anyway, from there, we're gonna go into primer. This is my Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I know of a lot of ladies who don't feel like primer is necessary. it is. So what I'm gonna do is leave out primer on this side and put primer on the right side. On the correct side, we are going to go ahead and with a foundation. This is my NARS Natural Radiant Foundation, Longwear Foundation. And this is my shade right now. It is like winter time and I'm not getting a whole lot of sun these days. And I'm gonna go ahead and with this brush from Juvia's Place to start to buff this out. This I'm also going to buff out into my neck. That's one thing that you don't want to skip when you are putting on foundation and matching your color. Typically, y'all know me, if you have been watching me, you know that I say please match to like this area right here between your neck and your chest, because that's when you'll get the best match. I do get people who tell me that this is a little too light, but to me, I think this looks fluid. Shoot me if I'm wrong, but you know, that's how I feel. I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out here. This is so weird doing this half face. So on the other side, I'm gonna go in with my summer shade. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to my face. And as you can see, it is a much darker color. Like I said, this is my summer shade. If I've been in the sun, this is the perfect shade for me. I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out with another foundation brush. We're not gonna blend this into the neck because that is a problem that we see out in the streets all the time. I know y'all see it, I see it too. That's the problem. I'm not just gonna say y'all problem because it's something I used to do too. This is not a judgment video. This is a, you know, helpful video. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna get into is concealer. On the good side, I don't want to keep calling it the good and the bad side, but you know, on the side with less mistakes. I'm gonna go ahead and with my concealer from Laura Mercier. This is their Flawless Fusion Concealer in 5N. And I'm gonna put my concealer right under the eye and bring it down a little bit. It's gonna be really hard to contour, to do the nose. I didn't think about that, but you know, we're gonna try our best. I'm also going to highlight the forehead. I typically like to bring little feathery moves to help with blending later on. I'm gonna put a little bit on my cubic's bow as well as some on my chin. I want to do the nose too, but you know what? We're just gonna try it. I'm gonna go back into the very light concealer, and then they also put it in areas where it probably should not be. So we're gonna put it there. We're gonna put it here, which sometimes it's okay to put it in this area, but you definitely don't need this much and you definitely don't need this light. We're also going to highlight the forehead too, because I see this too, to highlight the nose. Yeah, I'm gonna really try this nose thing. I'm really gonna try it. So you see the difference on each side. This side is more, first of all, it's our color, it's our shade, and it's placed more less generously, and it's placed more generously on this side, and it's way too much surface area and way too bright. I'm gonna go ahead and blend this in. Then I'm gonna go in with a different blender, and this one is from Nabla Cosmetics, and blend out this side. And when I'm blending out this side, another thing that I'm going to pay attention to make sure that I don't do right is not to blend it too well. I do see some women who will not blend this out too well. They'll leave this a little too sharp. The next thing that we're going to do is contour. I'm gonna take my L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer in Coffee. I'm gonna use this to contour on this side. I'm gonna place just this amount that I usually always place when I contour. I'm gonna place just a little bit down the nose. And then on this side, we're just gonna go in just a little bit more than we usually do. And we're gonna actually draw this line right down the nose. You know you've seen it, you know you've done it. I've done it. So don't be ashamed. Or be ashamed and stop doing it. So on this side, I'm gonna go ahead and blend in my contour shade. And I'm pretty much just using circular motions to do that. Then I'll also go in with my beauty blender while I'm buffing out to make sure that it's not spreading too much and to make it look as natural as possible. Point is to accentuate the cheekbone, kind of like creating like a natural shadow. I'm pushing this into my hairline and slowly bringing it down into the forehead, and then again going in with my beauty blender, more than likely on the foundation side, and patting it in to make sure it's blending. Now to the fun side, we're going to really go in hard on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and take this and start to blend it out. So instead of blending, kind of just patting this into the skin, bringing it way too close to the eyebrow. That is something you want to avoid, is bringing it super close to your eyebrow or bringing it way too low. So you kind of lose the forehead highlight that you created. That is our contoured side. That's not looking that great. So, and I did forget, girls usually also will go in underneath their chin right here. And some people, you know, that's cool to do, but you know, I don't do it only because I feel like that's where you're trying to get it to match and look like you're all like the right color. But that's why I don't do it, but we're gonna do it for the sake on this side because y'all girls, well, not y'all, but some people will have a field day with this. We gotta make this real harsh. I'm going to attempt to blend this into the skin. So I did just go in a little bit more meticulously with the nose situation. I really want it to be like a split down the middle. So from here, we're gonna go ahead and hop into setting the face. I'm gonna go ahead and with my Mented powder, and this is in light tan. And I'm going to set the right side of the face. And then I'm also gonna go in with my skin tone powder, which is Mented as well in deep, medium deep. I usually will set my smile lines with this and set the rest of the face with this powder. For this side, we're gonna use a powder that's a little bit too light. I'm gonna use the Airspun translucent powder, and this is a drugstore powder, kind of a pinkish powder. I'm going to put on a lot, and I'm going to set our highlighted places, and we are baking today on this side. And while this side is beautifully baking, we are also going to go in with that Mented skin tone powder. I usually always will go under this side to highlight and just make it more defined instead of going in with the lighter shade of powder, just to kind of make it more natural. But now, as you can see, we do have that defined area, but it's not as bright as this is gonna be. So I'm gonna go ahead with a brush and dust off our baking. Typically, they will, matter of fact, hold up, I forgot about my nose. Yeah, I'm committed to this, if y'all can't tell. I am committed. We're gonna get this nose, we're gonna get it to look different on both sides. We're gonna do it. Okay, so yes, that's what I see as a problem typically when people are doing their makeup, is they'll put on the powder and bake right then and there, when you really should set the concealer first and then bake. So go in with 2 layers of powder. So right now, if I wanted to bake this side, now I would go in with the baking. I pretty much just use that powder to set it, and then I can use it again to bake. Problem here is we just did it all in one shot. For bronzer, I'm gonna go into my Alamar Cosmetics Brighten and Bronze Complexion Trio. This is in Dark Rich, and that middle color is a bronzer. On the correct side, I'm gonna go ahead and dip into that middle color and bronze the face. I feel like a lot of people get bronzer and like contour powder mixed up. It is different. Contour powder, I would definitely say this is more of a contour powder. It's labeled as a deepener, and this one is a bronzer. But bronzing is really just to add warmth to the face, bring the deeper shadows back into the face, not necessarily to assist in contouring, even though we do put it where we contour, but you know, besides the point. And on the other side, I'm gonna dip into the deepener, because typically I do see people contour and bronze a little too dark, and I'm going to put the deepener in our bronzed areas. And we're also gonna add a little bit of the bronzer to the side of the nose and on the other side as well. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead into the eyes. So on this side, we're gonna go ahead and prime the eyelid and make sure it is ready for some eyeshadow. This side, we are not going to prime. We're just gonna leave it. I'm gonna go in my Jackie Aina palette, and I'm gonna go into the color Ginger, and we're just gonna dust that along the crease on the right side. And if you ever wonder where your crease is, all you have to do is like look down into your mirror, and you can see like my crease is right here. When I open my eye, the skin fold kind of goes over it, but you can see it and feel it if you do it like this. I'm doing this circular motions and blending this out so it's not too harsh. I'm bringing it right above my crease. And as you can see, this is kind of creating a, not a cut crease, but kind of like a little arch over the lid area. And then on the other side, we're taking the same color, but instead of doing this technique, we're gonna do it just like this. And we're going to attempt to put it in that same area. However, not gonna turn out as good as the other one. On this one, we're actually seeing our crease as our fold here, which is not your crease, but I'm going to do it like that because I do see quite a lot of ladies or women or people in general putting their crease color there when that is not where it belongs. Big difference. Do you already see the difference? From there, I want kind of like a matte brown shade on my lid. So I'm gonna dip into the brown sugar palette from Colourpop, and I'm dipping into the color Chai. Still looking down, I'm just patting this in the area where my lid is, even though it's going over like my physical crease, you know, that folds over. I'm putting this on the lid that I can see from looking down and feel from looking down. And I'm also blending this into the skin right here. And that's a very, you know, natural, neutral look if you find where your crease is. For this one, like I said, we back face to face with the mirror, and we're just gonna put it on the area that's below our crease, our physical crease. So look at the difference. Do y'all see the difference? Yeah, so pretty much this one is just on the lid, and then the other color is everywhere else. This one we actually found where our crease is by looking down and feeling where the eyeball ends at the top, and it ends up looking a lot more natural and neutral and put together and sophisticated. Where are my other lashes? Where are my other lashes? From there, we are going in with some liquid liner, and I am going to go ahead and make a little bit of a wing. On the correct side, we're starting right in the middle of the eye. We're gonna bring it out, and then on the edge, we're going to pull it up where we want it, just like that. And we're going to connect it. My recommendation when it comes to a wing liner is to make sure you start in the middle of the eye. That way you're kind of continuing the line from the front of the eye or the middle part into this, and it gets bigger and thicker. It doesn't close the eye up as much. This one we are going to take all the way across the eye. We're gonna bring it up a little bit. It's gonna make the eye look a lot smaller, but just doing the wing in this manner will definitely close your eye up. We're gonna make that wing a little too long, and we're also not gonna make it very precise and out like a wing. We're just gonna leave it just like that. Cause some of y'all ladies or some people, they gonna look at this and be like, yep, I got it. I did choose 2 different lashes for this. If you look at this lash, it's not very tapered. You kind of want to choose one that's shorter on one side and longer on the other side. The way it looks more natural, more flowy, but this one is not like that. We're also not going to put mascara on this eye before. We're just gonna pop that lash right on. And then for this one, I did choose a different type of lash that is tapered. So if you can see, one side is smaller and it's not long as the other side. So that helps to create just like that flare look. I am gonna put mascara on this side, and this helps to prep your lashes and to make them the same color as the lashes, because typically you will get a lot of foundation and powder and stuff on your lashes, and you can see it underneath. If you guys look real close here, you probably can see it. I can see it, and I'm gonna pop these on. Over here, we're a lot heavier. The eye is less open. I really didn't want this to look like clown makeup. I really wanted this to look very relatable and something that people actually might do and mistakes you actually might make. So some of you probably will think, hey, that actually looks kind of good. But these are mistakes you want to avoid, because you see the difference between this side and this side. Something else that you really want to avoid, we're gonna do the under eye. We have a black and we have a off-white. I'm gonna put this on my waterline on the correct side, and then I'm going to go in with this black one on this side. And then we're gonna go into some mascara. This eye looks a lot more classier. It's way more open because we did not bring our wing completely over the eye. We also used a lighter liner underneath, and it kind of opens up the eye, makes it look a little more classy. This one, very heavy lashes that are not tapered to the eye, not flared. Also, putting that black liner is a killer underneath. Don't want to do that. I think it's pretty obvious what's happening here. For the sake of getting all of the tips in, we are going to go in with blush. This is the Colored Raine by Power Duo, and this is in my day 1. I'm gonna take a blush brush on the right side, barely tap into it, and add some blush. And that is really all we need. Sometimes I'll add a little bit on other parts of the face just for continuity. On this side, we're just gonna be less careful about what we put on and just kind of go in, make sure we see our color, and that's our blush. For highlight, I think I'm gonna go ahead and use the highlight that's in here as well. It's gonna be hard to do the nose, but this is a very coppery color, which is perfect for brown skin complexions. And I'm pretty much just highlighting all the places where I typically would highlight. For the highlight on the other side, I'm gonna go into this Juvia's Place highlighter. This is the Tri Volume 3 highlighter. And the first thing I'm gonna do is go in at the top of the cheeks. And for me, this is a little light of a highlighter if you don't know how to use it. And it's a little icy for my complexion is how I really feel about it. But we are adding it in the same places if we put it the other way. A little less blended. So I have have seen that before as well. There you have it. So from there, we're gonna go into lips. So you guys know that I'm super crazy about using a... You guys know that I'm super crazy about using a lipstick as a lip liner, and that's not something I wanted to change for this video. On this side, I am going to go ahead and line my lips the way I usually do. And y'all know how I am about an ombre lip as well. On this side, and we're gonna overline just a little bit. And the thing is, I don't typically see a lot of black women with more fuller lips overlining their lips. And sis, you can, but I am putting this on the bad side because I don't overline my lips. And it's not necessarily that it's overlined either, it's just like, a lot. So if you see my smile, it's just a lot. From there, I'm gonna go in with like a neutral nude liquid lipstick, and this is from color Raine in Butterscotch. Obviously on this side, I blended it in a little more. It's more of the darker shade that's there. This one, the lighter shade is kind of taken over. Yeah, we are pretty much done. So I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all my thoughts, my last little tidbits and tips in a moment, and we're done. All right, loves, so I'm looking like a literal clown right now, but that is on purpose, so I guess it's cool. I really hope that this video was helpful for you guys just to see some common mistakes that are made that can be easily corrected by blending something differently, choosing a different product, choosing a lighter product or a darker product. As y'all can see, just from choosing your incorrect shade in something can completely make a difference in how your makeup turns out, how you end up looking out here in these streets, baby girl. Ain't nobody, just don't tell them I sent you looking like that. To make it completely clear, PSA, this is not the way to do it. Obviously, this is very, very exaggerated with the fact that we kind of did all the mistakes and smashed them all into one side of the face. So this is not typical. Typically, you'll make like 1 or 2 or 3 of these mistakes, not all of them at one time. So sis, I know you ain't out here looking like this, but you know, I had to do it for the video so y'all can be a little entertained today. So I hope you guys can take away some of the tips that I gave. If you like this video, please make sure you give me a big thumbs up. Comment below. Let me know what you think about this video, if it was helpful, if you were entertained. Also, make sure that you hit subscribe below so that you are updated when new videos go up. And I will see y'all on the next video. Bye, babes.